Oh, well. Today I wanted to talk about DNA. This particular subject I've written on quite a few times in the past 6 months, and every time that I bring it up or that I bring this article to another forum off of my own personal blog, immediately I'm attacked. And it starts from always alleged illuminist, enlightened people that claim to know the truth and the light and so forth. What people don't understand is when I'm writing these articles, this recording isn't going to be basically what the information is about in those articles. I'll contain links in the below this video that you can go read these articles and judge for yourself if I'm being a racist, because basically that is what I'm being called by people out there. And again, this is not the purpose of my articles and discussing DNA. My purpose is in regards to Gnosis. And this is something a lot of enlightened people who I believe are enlightened and spiritual and loving and so forth, but what they do not understand is Gnosis. And I'm hoping that these articles and my subsequent videos and recordings will help you out there understand Gnosis and what we Gnostics understand about this. And these articles that I'm writing are also groundbreaking, I believe, meaning that there are not many, if anyone out there, people talking about this. And there's a reason for this, that we Gnostics don't do this, and it's because we're always attacked. And this has happened countless times throughout history and has been documented. And in the past, unfortunately, for my ancestors and fellow brothers, they've been killed for the words that they write. Murdered, burned, crucified by these same profane people that are attacking me on the internet. There's another word that I say often that really upsets these alleged enlightened people, and that word is profane. When I say profane, I don't mean that you are dumb or the person that I am saying is profane is an idiot, non-spiritual, non-enlightened, or anything like that. The word profane and what my ancestors had used it pertains to the secret mysteries and initiation into these mysteries. And if you're not initiated truly, you're going to be profane to some of the things that we talk and discuss. And much of what we say will go right over your head. And if it doesn't pertain to your belief system or what you feel is true, you're going to attack us for these writings that we write and these truths that we distribute. There's nothing new under the sun. We've experienced this for thousands of years, and soon it will come to an end. Gnosis. When I speak of DNA, I speak of Gnosis. When I speak of Gnosis, I speak of DNA, because this is where it comes from. You know, when someone says, look within, know thyself, where do you think that you might be looking? Are you looking into some deep space under earth, or some conduit from the heavens that when you meditate, all of a sudden all the answers from within come from without? Just saying that answers my question, because it's really foolish to even question that. The answers come from within us, and these answers come from within our DNA. And if our DNA is different, meaning you, the listener out there, and me, Mo Bedard in this incarnation, or whoever I am, then our truths are going to be different. If our DNA is similar on our mother's and father's side, our truths are going to be very similar. We're going to probably agree with each other on a lot of things. But if our DNA is different, our beliefs are different, our gnosis is different, then of course we're not going to agree on certain things. This is the same debate that has been happening for thousands of years and will continue if we never understand the simple fact. Your truth, my truth, and everyone else's truth is going to be different, and it's going to depend on their DNA and their ability to tap their DNA to know thyself. Because the facts are, we are our ancestors and they are us. The past is encoded in our DNA. This is where the memories come from. This is where the gnosis comes from. This is where the intuition comes from when you know something. It's the past. It's this gnosis. It's this electrical charge that goes through your DNA that gives you the intuition to understand, the gnosis, to know thyself. So, now that you understand where I'm coming from as far as DNA, and it's not a race issue, it's a know thyself issue, and due to the simple fact that many of us are members of different DNA haplogroups, we're going to have different truths and different gnosis, and probably not going to come to the same conclusions on the same subjects, probably from ever to eternity. Meaning, we're going to keep having these debates and keep disagreeing and keep lashing out at one another on forums, and this has happened again for thousands of years, and I believe it all comes down to our DNA, and our truths are different. And it's not about race or being a racist, it's about DNA. And often I'm talking about or discussing or researching things that deal with the Knights Templar, Freemasonry, secret societies, the Bible, the Brotherhood in general. And when I talk about Gnosis, my DNA happens to come from these very same people, the Knights Templar, the brothers that had wrote the Bible, the St. John's, kings, and so forth. I don't mean that I'm better than you. I'm a citizen in the United States of America with a social security number. I still work, have my own business. I haven't been knighted sovereign status by the Queen. I'm just like you, a citizen of the United States or wherever you are in what country. And if you're not a sovereign knight, you're probably just like me. You could have royal blood. You could have slave's blood. We've all been slaves. We've all been royal at one time if we go back several lives. What I'm stating now in this incarnation is that these things that I talk about, I have the gnosis and the DNA to talk about them intelligently, and for someone out there to know that what I'm saying is true. So basically, that is my take on DNA and Gnosis, and the fear that it raises is just ridiculous that it continues, but it is expected. I mean, we haven't come much further than 2,000 years ago in these debates and forums, and I don't see us going much further. In my 5 years in running my website, loansafe.org, and participating in other forums and debates, it is the same old thing over and over again. And it really, I see no end to it. Too many people have too many voices now, I believe, that shouldn't be talking on subjects they have no idea what they're talking about. But that's all that we have on the internet. You go on forums like Godlike Productions, even, a forum that I joined recently, New World Illuminous, with Apollo from Godlike. I mean, the same people are over in these forums, and they're just, calling me a racist because I'm talking about DNA and Gnosis. And it's just profane people. And again, they don't understand the word profane, and they'll attack me right away when I start talking like that. And that's ignorance. It's childish souls trying to act like they're spiritual leaders, and we don't need these people on the internet or leading or even spouting their opinion, I believe. And I'm going to take my fight, my words, and everything to my personal blog, my own videos, and I'm not going to deal with these forums and these people with all these different opinions that should even be talking on these subjects. That's not everybody out there, but if this is you, the truth hurts, and I'm sorry to talk like this, but I've been known to talk like this from day one. I say the truth, and I shine the light on it, and I refuse to back down because I talk about DNA and Gnosis, and people think I'm a racist, but I just won't participate in these forums that are run by alleged Illuminists who then, send me a message and tell me what to write and what I can and cannot do. It's just ridiculous. It's like I have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from my past incarnations of being burned or crucified or being banished to islands because people don't like what I say. It's ridiculous, and it's happening already here in 2012 in the United States of America. And it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But anyways, nothing new under the sun. This is the way the world works, and I believe it's not going to change. And guess what? It's in our DNA. We're screwed up. We screwed up God's plan. It's unnatural. Everything we're doing, from our food to how we treat our minds to our children to the DNA, is screwed up. And until we fix that, all this talk about unity, love, and everything is just a farce. It's never going to happen because we're not fixing the root source of the problem, and that's the people and their DNA. And that's not racist, that's truth. Good luck to you out there, Knights Templar, from a true Gnostic who descends from them. Good night.